Is she there? Can I speak to her?
She's not here, no.
When is she back?
No idea, to be honest. Could be a few days.
A few days? Why has she left her laptop with you?
I'm a boyfriend. Was there something else or what?
I don't trust you, Tom. I want you to know that.
Oh, I couldn't give a flying fuck, love.
I know you're still dealing.
Good for you.
If Lily's using again, then I need to know.
What Lily does is none of your business.
Lily! Are you there? It's Sophie. We're really worried about you, Lils. We love you. Can you come on the call?
Oh, sorry, Mr. Press Mute when you spoke just there.
Do you love her?
What?
I'm just curious. Because if you loved her, then you'd let me speak to her.
She's not here, all right?
I'm not an idiot, Tom. I've called her work, her friends, everyone. No one has seen her for days. I know she's with you.
You need to get a hobby, mate.
The least you can do is let me know that she's all right. Look, I know it is sad for you that you don't have anyone who cares if you're dead or alive. But Lily does. Lots of people. And they want to know that she's okay.
She's fine. She just doesn't want to talk to you now. Fuck off.
I'll give you money.
For what?
I'll pay you if you convince her to talk to me right now. £100.
I make that much in a day.
Fine. 500.
Cash.
Yep. If the three of us chat on here right now, I will meet you with the cash afterwards. You just tell me where.
Nah, fuck that. You won't come through.
I will. You have my word.
I'm getting bored now. I got stuff to do, yeah?
£500. Tom, don't tell me you don't want that kind of money. You're not making anything like that round here. I've watched you.
Oh, you're my stalker now, is it?
If I knew where you lived, I would be there now. Believe me.
If you knew where I lived, I'd be arrested.
I don't care what you do with your life. I am not interested in talking to the police. I just want to know that my sister is safe.
She's safe. Happy now?
No. I need to see that she's okay.
I tell you what, I'll make you a deal. You give me £1,000 and I'll dump her, kick her out, then she'll have to come crawling back to you. But I want cash.
I don't have £1,000.
Better start saving then, Soph.
Don't try and act like some sort of gangster, Tom. You sell bags of cocaine in the centre of town next to W.H. Smith's. You're just a lowlife, a nobody peddler, not a drug lord.
You don't know me.
I know your type. Skinny guy. Wants to act like the big man. Didn't do so well in school, but doesn't want to look stupid. So he pretends he knows how to do business. Gets into dealing. Because he's too lazy to get an actual job and hysterically thinks he's too good to work in Tesco's. Gets girls like my sister hooked on drugs because he knows they wouldn't look twice at him otherwise.
Oh, cool story.
Okay, well, we're done here. When she gets back, tell her to call me or someone, anyone. Don't be a prick. Tell her I rang.
Actually, I think I will take that 500 you offered.
Too late. You missed your chance.
Oh, you take the piss, you do, wasting my time.
I said I would pay you to let me see her right now.
Yeah.
So she is there. Lily!
All right, fuck's sake, I'll get her. But you are still going to give me the cash though, yeah?
My name is Scott Keats. This video is to document what I've been doing for the past 2 years. This video is a confession that I'm a criminal. I've been involved with a criminal organisation, Tier 20, that's the name that they give. I've been handling their accounts, laundered tens of millions, transferred assets, completely fabricated business records. Oh, shit. If my family sees this, if my family sees it, just know that I love you. Please know that. I'd like to address the Serious Organised Crime Agency. I hope you understand that I can't contact you. My lines are tapped. Probably by you at this point. They have a series of keepers, those who are responsible for people like me. And as far as I can tell, they operate globally. London is the hub. All of the business I've forged have gone back to London business addresses. However, the money goes back to offshore accounts. I'm well known in my sector. I'm the best there is. And that's where they found me. At work, in my office. I stayed late. I used to regularly. Three of them walked in. I assumed that they worked in the building. I didn't know. I suppose you think I'm weak. I should have just contacted the police. But then you tell me how you would react to a gun to your chest. A gun. In the middle of a London office that I'd worked and joked in for 5 years. 3 men came in and held a gun to me. That's something you only ever see in films. They said they had the names and addresses of my family, of my parents, for Christ's sake. If I screw up, me and my family are dead. So I don't screw up. Ever. But then they contacted me 3 weeks ago on a burner phone, said that money was missing. Hundreds, thousands, gone. And if I didn't find it, well, if I didn't find it, I'm alive because of this lockdown. But lockdown is ending tomorrow. At some point, I'm gonna have to go outside. Please, keep my family safe.
I always said I'd leave him when the kids grew up, but by the time they'd grown up, there was nowhere to go. I mean, you don't start again when you're 55, do you? They say, don't they? They say that by the time you've reached your 50s, you're feeling a bit jaded. And you start to believe that all the good things are the things in the past. I must have been an early developer, because I felt like that at 25. It's not that he's bad, my fella. He's just no bleeding good. Mind you, they're all a bit like that, aren't they? You know, they're great when they're courting you. Before you've had the horizontal party with them, they're marvellous then. They can't do enough for you. Nothing's too much trouble. But the very minute they've had you, their behaviour starts to change. It's like that advert, isn't it? You know, the milk tray man. Oh, he is marvellous, isn't he? He dives off a 1,000-foot cliff and swims across 2 miles of water just to deliver a box of chocolates. And you learn from that the lady loves milk tray. And that lady has been keeping her legs firmly closed, because if he'd had his way with her, he wouldn't be going there by diving off a 1,000-foot cliff and swimming through the raging torrents. He'd have gone by a bus, and there would be no chocolates. And if she mentioned the chocolates he used to bring her, he'd say, "Oh no, babe, I'm not bringing you any more chocolates, because you're putting a bit too much weight on." Actually, when you come to think of it, Cadbury's would go out of business if women didn't hold back a bit. I don't hate men. I'm not a feminist. Not like Jane. Jane's my mate, and she's a feminist. Well, she likes to think she is. She reads Cosmopolitan and says all men are potential rapists. Even the Pope. Now, Jane, she does hate men. She divorced her husband, you know. I never knew him. It was before I met Jane. But apparently, she came home from work one morning and found him in bed with the milkman. With the milkman. Honest to God. I've only known Jane a short time, but she's great. She's going to Greece for a fortnight. What am I going to do without her for 2 weeks? She's the only one who keeps me sane. She's the only one I ever talk to, apart from the wall. Isn't she, Wall? She is. I said to her this morning, I said, "Jane, I won't half miss you." And do you know what she said to me? She said, "I want you to come with me." Silly bitch. Imagine the face on him. Imagine the face on him if he had to look after himself for 2 weeks. Jesus, if I go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, he thinks I've been hijacked. Oh, that's lovely, though. It's not too dry. Some of it would strip the palate off you, wouldn't it? But that's lovely. It's nice, wine. It's like being kissed by the sun. He won't drink wine. He says it's just a posh way of getting pissed. Well, I suppose it is, really. But it is nice. Do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to drink a glass of wine in a country where the grape is grown. Sitting by the sea, looking at the sun. But he won't go abroad. Well, you see, he gets jet lag when we go to the Isle of Man. And I wouldn't mind. We go by boat.
Are you being serious? Oh my God. Why? I can't believe you just asked me that. Get off the floor, please. Get up off the floor, Kyle. You're embarrassing me. Marry you? Really? Because that's what you think we both need right now, huh? Wow, really? So explain it to me, just so it's clear in my head. How can I go forward when I don't know which way I'm facing, or even which way to turn half the time? No, Kyle. I'm not getting into something I'm not sure of. Oh, this is all wrong. You haven't even thought this through. Well, clearly you haven't. I mean, how can I have feelings for you when I don't even know if it is a feeling? How can I feel something if I just don't know how to feel? I can't have feelings. Not when my own feelings have always been denied. You know my background. I told you my story. I'm damaged, Kyle. Damaged. Let me explain this to you so it's really clear, because this is the reality of life, which can be long. And we both know how strong you have to be, because the world is tough. Sometimes I feel I've had enough. Love. How can I give love when I don't know what it is I'm giving? I don't even know how to give. Stop. I can't love you. Love is not for us, okay? Love is for normal people. I've never had love. Love is something you read about these stupid romance books or on TV. It's not for us. It's just a fantasy. Those were just dreams. Don't you get it? Dreams, Kyle, not reality. We can't go forward when we don't know which way we're facing. How can we go forward? We don't even know which bloody way to turn half the time. I don't know how else to explain it to you. We can't go forward into something we're not sure of. No. I'm sorry. My answer is no. There just can't be a you and me. I'm sorry.
Don't do it. Don't open that little box. One more crack. Don't ask me to marry you. Shh. Don't say another word. Just listen. I can't let you do this to me. I mean, before I met you, I used to be such a bitch. I mean, seriously. Everyone at work thought I was a huge bitch. Nobody liked me. Those people I introduced you to as my friends, they're not my friends. They're scared of me. Or at least they were before I met you. Before I met you, I never said please or thank you at restaurants. I never used to laugh at anyone's jokes but mine. I never used to tip more than 10%. I was quick with insults. I always had a cruel word. I was cold, cross, crass, falsely compassionate. But since being with you, I've begun to feel all warm inside and fuzzy. I find myself wanting to stroll in the park and hug people. Since being with you, I've given $10 to homeless people. I've helped 3 old ladies cross the street. And I bought one of my so-called friends a present that I knew she'd like. And I bought it at full price. Don't you see? Don't you see that you've made me nice? And what I'm really scared of is that you'll open that box and ask me to marry, and I'll just say yeah. And then I'll be nice for the rest of my life. I'll be singing Kumbaya for the rest of my days. I'll give back to the community, to the Salvation Army, to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And I'll do it anonymously. And then one day I'll wake up with the horrible realization that I lived a good life and that I contributed. So please, for the love of God, just put that box away. The world already has millions of nice people. It doesn't need me to. I'm a bitch. And I want to stay that way. Please. Stop. Don't. I'm asking you. No, I'm begging you. I'm getting down on my knees. Will you please not marry me?
There is no easy way to do this, so I'm just going to have to say it. I love you. I have loved you since the first time we met. Not that we were introduced, not properly anyway. But yeah, that was it. I have never met anyone like you, before or since, and I know my timing is ridiculous and I'm making a massive fool out of myself doing this, but I can't care about that, because if I don't tell you all this now, then I don't think I ever will. I miss you. Just seeing you across a bar or at a party. Knowing that if I say yes to a night out, then maybe you will be there too. I imagined that one day I would catch your eye, or we'd bond over drinks, or I'd trip and you'd catch me, like in a cheesy film. And then you would look at me and see me. Really see me in the same way that I see you. It's hard to talk to you, but just being near you, your laugh, your smile, your awful attempts at karaoke, that twitch you do when you're nervous, you're doing it now. Sorry. That's enough. I love you. I think I will always love you. Yes, I sound crazy. I probably am, so I don't expect you to say anything. I don't need anything from you, it's just that you're leaving, so before you disappear from my life, I need you to know that, to me, you are perfect. And I love you.
You bought the same mug as me?
This mug? Oh, is it you that has this? I'd seen it somewhere. I wanted to buy it. I just couldn't remember where.
Can I not have one thing that you don't copy?
I'm not copying you. It's a mug, Kate. That shop probably sells 100 a day.
You saw I had one and you bought it. How is that not copying?
You're being really mature right now, just so you know.
You're a little bitch, just so you know. Where are the parents? And Mark?
Mark's always late. He hates the family calls.
Mark's the favourite. He has no reason to hate the family calls.
I'm the favourite, not Mark.
They called you Olive. They clearly don't like you.
You are such a dick. I'm texting Mum.
Kate said Olive's a shit name again, Mum. Tell her how it's not just the name of a shit middle-class party snack, but it's actually a strong and feminine word.
Not coming.
Cool. Bye then. I'm off.
She thinks we have to talk. Check the group chat.
What? They've set us up. This is too much.
I've not seen Mum swear this much in years.
If Mark sends one more laughing face emoji, I'm going to drive over there and punch him.
Prick.
Look, Olive, I'm going to be blunt here. I'd rather stick pins in my eyes than waste my Sunday morning talking to you on here.
We have to.
We're adults. We don't have to do anything. Just hang up, then text Mum back in 20 minutes and say we've cleared the air. Done.
I'd quite like to talk about it.
Good for you. Why don't you go find a mirror and have a word with yourself about it all?
You don't talk to me anymore.
Whose fault is that, eh?
You think it's my fault?
On what universe is it not your fault, Olive Oil?
Very witty. Well done. Not heard that one before.
I'm going.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Sure.
No, really, I am. I'm sorry, Kate. I'm not sure what else you want me to say.
You kissed my fiancé, Olive. Sorry doesn't even come close.
We've been through this. It was just a little kiss.
You kissed my fiancé.
A little bit.
Was it not enough to watch my first marriage fall apart? What? You thought, you know what? I love my sister so much, I'm going to shit on her second marriage too. Oh, but don't shout at your sister. You know what she's like. That's just little Olive.
You were drunk.
You're my sister.
It was a shit kiss, though.
Yeah. Even worse in bed.
No, really?
Like flogging a dead horse, only less exciting.
You deserve better, really.
I deserve a better sister.
Online dating is slightly weird. You've only got their picture to go on. Of course, that's assuming it's an actual picture of themselves. I mean, it's not like you can hear them. They could look like David Beckham, but they might have the voice to match. What first attracted me to Mark was his punctuation. He knew his commas. Knew the difference between the three theirs. He even spelt accommodation correctly. I felt it was cyber destiny. He was 35, worked in managerial consultancy and lived in Formby. Now, there are rules to meeting strangers. If you're in any way unsure, I'd suggest a bit of research at www.kissmegoodnight.com/30+ and gagging for a man. Or meet somewhere public and well lit. I opted for the art gallery in town. The website felt that visual stimulus was a real opportunity for love to blossom. I also did a bit of research, read what paintings would be there, so I could show off a bit and look knowledgeable. Oh, Mark, A Beryl Cook. Do you know she died? Terrible loss. Victoria Wood's a fan, you know. Calls them Rubens with jokes. Makes me look cultured. Mark told me he'd be wearing a black suit with a red tie. I thought it a good sign that he knew what he'd be wearing in advance. Shows decisiveness. And I like that in a man. I, obviously, didn't have a clue on my outfit. So I told Mark to look out for a leggy redhead with a dazzling personality. Thought he might have laughed at that. Instead, he asked me if I'd be wearing a jacket. Depends on the weather, I said. A disaster is probably the only way to describe him. As soon as I saw Mark, I thought, oh no, this just won't do. This just isn't me. It was his eyes. The way he looked at you, it made you feel uneasy. Like he was looking a little bit too closely. Janice said it was because he was boss-eyed. Oh, that's the other thing about a blind date. Always have a friend on standby. Someone to ring your mobile with a fake emergency. No point wasting time.
Miss Tomlinson said that when you were in the hospital, she said that I should still talk to you, even when you were sleeping. When you were sleeping for ages, she said I should still talk to you because you can still hear me. Can you still hear me now, though? I think maybe you can't, because the human ear can only hear sounds that are fairly close, and I think you're far away. Where we buried you was pretty far, and then there's the soul and all that, but then maybe you're not really there. I don't know. Can you hear me? I think maybe depending where you are, maybe you can see me. Can you see? I had my hair cut. I don't like it. Rose can't do it like you, so she took me to this man. I didn't like him. There were loads of people there today, 37 including me. It's because you're nice, I think that's what Rose said, but I agree. I agree, you're really nice. Rose said Dad might come, but he didn't, so that's okay. We had loads of sandwiches. I was going to keep some for tea, but then I saw this lady. She was wrapping them in napkins and then putting them in her bag. I still got your mobile number in my iPhone 4. Not deleted it yet. I will, though. I suppose Rose will have to go into the orange shop and say, we don't need this number anymore because the person's dead. You're dead. It'd be good if I could send you a text message. Well, I was gonna send you a text message earlier. Just send you a text message and tell you what I'm doing at college and stuff, like what's happening, and then you could text me back. We don't need this number anymore because the person is dead. It was quite cold today, rainy. Should have worn my Berghaus jacket, but Rose said it's scruffy. It isn't scruffy. She says things sometimes and she's wrong, I tell her, but... I remembered what you said, though. Yeah, sometimes I don't have to tell people when they're wrong, so I don't tell her. I count to 10 and I don't tell her. She's wrong a lot, though. I'm still angry about the cheetah. It doesn't go that fast. It doesn't. Oh, I wish you'd been there today. That's stupid though.
When I first got here, I spent a whole day on buses. I got a travel card and just got on different buses, like we did that day. I just thought I'd see where I ended up. Only it wasn't like when we did it. I went Crystal Palace first. I thought, well, I imagined something different. You know, Crystal Palace. I bought this fried egg sandwich from the cafe by the terminals, and I had this shell in it, and I wanted to cry. That made me want to cry. I felt white or something. Oh, I wanted you. Then I got back on the bus and went to Victoria and got another bus. 38. And I just sat on it till I had to get off. Then I got off and I just walked for a bit. Just walking. I turned down this little road. It was just normal houses and cars. But at the end, there was this sort of, it was like this Roman building, like huge columns and colonnades, like even a pointy roof bit. Oh, it was really gorgeous. And I'd be, you know, mad. Because it was just there at the top of this road with houses and cars. But that wasn't the part though. Along the top of it, like the whole width of it, there were, it wasn't switched on, but there were these neon tubes, lettering that said, everything's going to be alright. Just that. Everything's going to be alright. You know, I went back yesterday before I phoned you, and it was just rubble. I thought I'd imagined it. I asked this woman cleaning the windows of her house if it had said that. And she said, yeah. I would have liked to have shown you, but it isn't there anymore. That's it.